You better pack for the weather for this episode of Juuuust TV because it's going to be hot, ice cold and just right. Charli and Jamie are cooking up a storm with some interesting flavours of Sizzler toasties. Ella's going to be stepping out onto the ice with some feathered friends. And Clare is stepping into the Courier Mail office to find out what it takes to be a journalist.
This episode of Juuuust TV is proudly supported by founding partner, the Children's Hospital Foundation.
Hi guys, I'm Rania. I'm gonna be your host for Juuuust TV. Blasted, boom, blasted. Look, I'm juicing it, just like Juuuust TV. Cracking a joke. Today we're gonna talk about toasties, penguins, and all about me.
You kidding me?
Now it's up to Jamie and Charli so we can make some toasties. Here you go, Jamie and Charli.
I wonder what the most Australian thing you could do is.
Maybe surfing, or the kangaroo, and eating a cheese toastie.
Cheese toasties. I want one. Really, Jamie? Let's do it then. I'm Charli, this is Jamie, and we're going to show you how to make 3 different types of cheese toasties.
To help put these classic Aussie snacks together, we have Felicity from Sizzler, and she will be giving us a good old hand in the kitchen.
What do you need to make a classic cheese toastie?
Okay, so at Sizzler, to make cheese toast, we use bread, butter, and then pecorino cheese, which is like Parmesan cheese, but a little bit more fancy, yeah.
What is this strange liquid-looking stuff that you've got on the table in front of us?
So to celebrate National Cheese Toast Day, which is in January every year, we have created a new flavour. So the first flavour is caramel cheese toast. I know, it's shocking, but don't knock it till you try
Who
it.
puts that on a toastie?
Sizzler does, and it is good, trust me. You should try it. We also have cinnamon sugar, so that makes our cheese toast a little bit like a donut. And then finally, we have Vegemite and cheese toasties.
That's the flavour I'm gonna like. Okay, let's get started with a classic Vegemite and cheese toastie.
We'll start with spreading the Vegemite. So, we'll get the 2 pieces.
And then get this.
And then get this, the Vegemite. Yep. You can use this one. And would you like to spread it on to this first piece? Have a go. Good job. Maybe Charli will help you out there and finish it off. How much Vegemite do you like? A lot or a little?
I only like a lot if there's a heap of butter on it.
If there's a heap of butter. Okay.
So, but because there's cheese on this, it might not be as bad. I've never tried it with cheese actually. So, don't know how this is gonna go.
And now we'll put the cheese on. This is an Aussie classic. We're gonna put it on the grill and we're gonna toast our cheese toast.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. Cheese toast takes about 1 minute to cook.
Get in that waft of nice classicness before we head into your sweet, sticky, and complicated toasties.
There we go. So that's our cheese and Vegemite cheese toastie. Okay, so I know cinnamon and caramel sound a bit strange to put on cheese toasties, but trust me, it is going to be delicious.
Whatever you say.
So first, we grill the cheese toast. Smell that. so I think they might be ready now. So this is our classic cheese toast. So this is the cheese, the butter, the bread, and the pecorino cheese. So to make our cheese toast into a donut flavoured cheese toast, we just need to add our cinnamon sugar. Do you want to shake it onto the first piece of cheese toast? And then do you want to make the caramel cheese toast? So all you need to do is add a drizzle of caramel onto this one.
Lucky I've got gloves on.
Well done. So now this is our caramel cheese toast and this is our cinnamon sugar cheese toast.
Okay, there's only one more thing we can do, Jamie. Let's dig in.
How's the donut cheese toast?
Good. We got a review here. The saltiness of the Vegemite is really good with the cheese. I love it. I ate all of it.
And what do you rate it out of 10 Sizzlers?
2 million.
10 million?
I'm gonna say the exact same thing. I was thinking of 2 million and Charlie was too. Okay, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I think it's time to have the caramel one. Oh gosh. I didn't get any caramel. Charlie, you need to get caramel. Okay. It tastes pretty good.
Okay guys, what was your favourite?
Vegemite and cheese.
What about you, Jamie? What was your favourite? Was it the caramel one?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so do you want to make another one?
Yeah. Vegemite and cheese, Vegemite and cheese, Vegemite and cheese.
Okay, we'll make another Vegemite and cheese. What do you say?
I want to have one of mine. Ones that I like.
Well, we can make a caramel one too then.
Okay, that sounds good. High five, mate. Thank you so much, Felicity, for the 100% gourmet experience. Bye!
This toasties looked so good. It was hard to pick, but I'll go for the caramel one. Now I'm gonna serve toasty for pizza, because I just met the pizza guy. His name is Alex. Here you go, Alex.
Hey guys, pizza delivery man Alex here. My favorite basketball team is the Miami Heat. What's yours, Aurelia?
My one is the Western All-Stars.
The Western All-Stars, alright. Why do you like that team?
Because they get the most points. Because there's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, KD, Kawhi Leonard, and all the rest of the good players. I hate LeBron James. No offense, LeBron James.
Wow, that's so interesting, Aurelia. I want to find out more about you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Introducing your host, it's 9.5-year-old Aurelia. She loves arcading, can speak over 100 languages,
Haha, Benson.
and watch out for her in the boxing ring.
My favorite sport is rugby, basketball, and all the other sports, except for soccer. Sorry, no offense, soccer teams. My favorite movie is the Avengers movie, especially the new movie, Avengers Endgame. You should go see it. My favorite character is the dog because my doctor there's Chris Henson. You might have seen him on one of the other episodes in the past. But go check it out. It's a good movie. And it's sometimes sad. He's really sad in the movie. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Ooh.
My biggest achievement is attention. I'll explain it to you right now. So attention is when you go between your legs, turn around, do high knee up jump, and go across, and then dunk it, and then it's wide up, you swing around. If I would have anyone come to my birthday party, it'll be anyone famous, like Cardi B, Princess Sunday, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and everyone else. My favorite song is old school, like Destiny's Child. Say my name.
Say my name.
You act me kind of crazy.
Ain't calling me baby.
Yeah. And my other one is very Shackles. A shackle on my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. Yeah. These are my awesome resources. I'm also learning Chinese. 老师你好, that means hello teacher. 你好 means hello. Teacher is like Jeff. That means goodbye. Now to Clare. That's telling the story. That's the last part.
Hi everyone, my name is Clare. I really enjoy doing sport like netball. As much as I love sport, I like to check in on how the superstars are playing. And the best way to do it is becoming a sports reporter. Right now, I'm becoming a reporter at the Courier Mail. Let's get the scoop on what it's all about. Showing me around from the Courier Mail is Liliana. Obviously, there's more than just the reporter when it comes to putting the paper together. I intend to dive deep and bring you quotes from those in the know.
Yeah,
Lachlan. Yeah, glad to meet you. How you going?
Good, thank you. So, Lachlan, what is your job as an editor?
Well, my job basically is to put all the stuff that goes in the paper. I decide what goes in the paper and also online as well. We have a look at what goes online. So we cover all the stories that are happening around Queensland, around Brisbane, and my job is to sort of oversee where we put things and what prominence we give to stories.
Oh, cool. So how do you decide which articles go into a newspaper?
That's a good question. You don't want all stories about crime, for instance, so you want a mix of stories, and you want stories that people want to read. You want interesting stories and interesting pictures. So you want stories about kids, families, you want stories about a bit of crime, a bit of politics, even though you might think that's boring, but a lot of people like to know about those sorts of things.
Definitely.
And you want opinion, which is people talking about different ideas. So you want a mix of stories, especially sport too. You want a lot of sport.
So does your job ever get stressful? Like, do you ever have to rush quickly?
I rush every day. I rush. Every day is stressful. So there's a lot of parts, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. So how long have you
Do I look stressed?
No, not right now. Do you get to edit all categories, or do you have you do sport or business or crime? Which bit?
So what happens is we have a big meeting at the start of the day and then halfway through the day when all those people that are in charge of those sections, whether it's sport or business, come and tell me what sort of stories they have, and I go, well, I like that story. Can we do more on that story? Do we have a picture for that story? And then they go back and put it in the paper.
And now some hard-hitting questions with someone who knows all about hard-hitting questions. So Jim, you're a sport journalist here in the Courier Mail. So how did you, why did you want to become a journalist?
Well, that's an interesting story because my father was a sports journalist for about 40 years. And when you're associated, I guess you see it in the house all the time, even if you don't mean to. you want to find out how you might go, and I've really loved being a sports journalist myself for nearly 40 years.
So how do you get like new articles? Like how do you have the ideas of like the new articles?
That's one of the fun parts of journalism. You arrive in the morning and it's a complete blank sheet of paper. For a newspaper, or in the case of online, it's completely blank.
Yeah.
So you do have to think of ideas.
Yeah.
So you have to think about, say, a swimmer. Say you're talking about Kate Campbell, the swimmer. What do you ask Kate that's new and different? And you have to ask her, inquire. It's not all about the swimming in the pool. It might be what's going on in her life outside the pool.
Last year I met Kate Campbell at a shop in Carindale. I ran into her. I was like, oh wow. So how do you know if the public will enjoy to read your article?
That's good. You got some good questions. I guess at the Courier Mail, we all know people love the Brisbane Broncos.
Yes.
So
Broncos.
we write a lot of Brisbane Broncos stories because people love the Broncos. They're part of the fabric of Brisbane.
Yeah.
They love State of Origin. That's the fabric of Queensland.
Yeah.
So we write a lot about that.
Okay, Jim, let's act like we are interviewing Kate Campbell. So what questions would you ask her?
Well, I really am fascinated to know what she thinks when she's standing on the blocks in a big race, when she's all by herself and the whole world's watching her. What goes through her mind? Does she sing a song when she's going down that first lap, or how does she get just in her own space where she can swim the fastest she possibly can?
Because being a swimmer is very stressful, so you've got to, like, if it's in a relay, you've got to quickly go down so your next person can jump. So it can be a little stressful. So I would want to know, how does she cope with that anxiety before the race? Like, because in the Olympic Games, you want to, like, you'll be really scared about to go out, definitely. While I was working on some interview questions with Jim, Kate Campbell was actually on her way for an interview with me.
Oh, so this one was given to you by her?
Yeah, Laura's really helpful. Does lots of good things.
Oh, that sounds
Do you mind if I interrupt here?
Oh my gosh, really?
Hello, Claire. How are you?
Hello.
Good to see you again.
Oh my gosh, hello.
I hear you've been grilling a couple of people.
Yes.
Has she been kind to you?
Yeah, I've got beads of sweat on my
What's it like?
Oh my gosh, I was like really, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really shocked. Because I was just telling her I met you before in the shop with my nana.
Yeah,
Lisa.
I think that we were buying jewellery or something.
Yeah, you were buying jewellery, and I was like, oh my gosh, can I put some autograph? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. So how many times have you won a gold Olympic medal?
So I have 5 Olympic medals in total. So I have 2 gold, 2 bronze, and a silver. Yeah,
Wow.
So they're quite special. They kind of live in the bottom drawer because what else do you do with them? Like, it's kind of like, oh, this is nice. Oh, let me just put that in the drawer and leave it there.
Is it stressful before you go in the pool in the Olympics? Like lots of anxiety?
Yeah, it is really stressful and it's really nerve-wracking, and you kind of just have to like try and take a few deep breaths. It almost gets to the point where you're like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I'm so nervous and I'm so stressed. Why would you do this to yourself? Why does anyone do this to themselves?
Yeah.
Then you have to remind yourself, like, why do you train? You train to race. And if you're not racing and enjoying it, then why are you doing all the training? Because let me tell you, training can be quite boring.
Yeah. Did your sister start because of you?
It was actually the other way round. So I'm actually a very lazy person. I don't know about you, but you do not seem like a lazy person to me, so you wouldn't understand this. But when we first started swimming, I'd do like a little turn at the flags because it was just too far to swim that extra 5 meters in and 5 meters out, or I'd let people lap me. So that I wouldn't have to swim 50 meters. Anyway, Bronte was like super dedicated and on it all the time, and she was the one who would be lapping me and then be like, Kate, you've got 50 meters to go. And I was like, oh fine, I'll do it. And then we went to our first swimming carnival, and I won a little bronze medal for my 25 meters backstroke, and I thought, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Bronte won 4 gold medals and an age championship trophy. Now, do you think that she was like humble or quiet about it?
No.
No, correct.
No, I have sisters that do that.
Correct. She used to wear the medals around her neck to the point where and then she'd walk so they would clink so you could hear her coming down the passage. And then she'd put her trophy next to her water at the dinner table. Yeah, she just like rubbed it in my face every chance she got. So anyway, I got very angry. and I stole her medals and her trophy and I hid them under my bed. And Mum found them and she sat me down and she said, Kate, Bronte worked really hard for those medals. And if you want what Bronte has, you're going to have to work hard because I've watched you, Kate, and you don't work hard. And I was like, oh man, do I have to?
Yeah.
But the gold medals were a lot better than the little bronze medals. So I was like, fine, I'll work hard. And, you know, it's kind of backfired on Bronte a little bit because now we race against each other and I beat her most of the time.
But when they call your name and you turn around that corner and you go into that's really stressful. Like, everyone's looking at you. People all around the world are looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like so scared. I'd be like, oh gosh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd turn around and like run off. I would not like that. I can't even talk to camera. I can't even go out.
You can't even talk to. She's a natural. Look at this. I can't even talk to camera.
I can talk to camera, but like you get really nervous.
You do get really nervous.
And then even you're like so used to interviews. Like, do you do lots of interviews a lot?
None of this caliber. You're right up the top. You're very good.
Oh gosh. Wow, really?
Yeah. All right, well, I have a little something for you because you have been an awesome interviewer. You haven't asked me any of the horrible questions that I do sometimes get asked. So this is one of my caps, my Olympic caps. And I thought that you might like it.
When did you wear this?
So I wore it at the Olympics.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to me today. You surprised me a lot. I was not expecting that. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
How will my journalist story end? I guess you have to read all about it. I'm Claire and I hope you enjoyed watching.
We want you to be a part of Juuuust TV. We're always on the lookout for hosts, interviewers, behind-the-scenes helpers and mini-producers. You can be any age, you don't have to have any experience. How much easier could it be? To find out the next time we're filming at the hospital, just head to our website, juuustv.com.au or our Facebook page. For loads of fun to break up your stay in hospital, join the Juuuust crew. Send us an email at hello@juuustv.com.au or speak to any of the volunteers wearing green shirts throughout the hospital and let them know you want to be involved in the one and only Juuuust TV.
Every day, kids just like you and me are cared for in hospital by some amazing superheroes. And now Juuuust TV are inviting our patients and families to recognise your favourite hospital superhero at the Queensland Children's Hospital. Visit juuusttv.com.au, fill out a superhero nomination form with an adult's help, telling us in 150 words or less why they're your superhero. Round 3 is open from July 1st. So what are you waiting for? Get your superhero nomination in now! Juuuust TV Superhero Awards, proudly supported by Juuuust Super.
We've seen Toasties, we've seen the newspaper, they're redacted, we're gonna go to Seaworld.
Hi, I'm Ella. I'm interviewing penguins and I thought it might help if I was dancing like Happy Feet. But since these penguins can't talk, let's find someone who can.
Hey, she thinks we can't talk, bro.
Joke's on her, bro. Jeff, one of the penguin keepers at Seaworld. So Jeff, tell me about these penguins. What type are they? How much do they eat?
All right, well, we've got in front of us here, these are our gentoos. So the gentoos are basically the third largest penguin in the world, really. So they range in weight from about 5 kilos through to about 8 kilos. And we've got 25 of these guys living here alongside the other type of penguins, which are the king penguins. Okay, so the king penguins are the second largest penguin on the planet. Only the emperor penguin's bigger.
So we're here in these big coats.
Yep.
How do these little guys survive in it?
Well, these guys are quite well adapted to cold climate, so we're running this exhibit at about -2 degrees. That's quite a comfortable temperature for these guys. They've got a really thick feather coat with like a downy feather at the base of that, so pretty much traps all the air in there, and so you'll see when they hit the water how buoyant they are with all that air trapped in there. They also, on top of that, have an extra fat layer beneath that, so they can get quite plump. So those two things combined are going to keep them super warm in this sort of cool climate.
Whereabouts would you find these penguins?
These guys are all what we call subantarctic penguins, so they're found on most of the subantarctic islands, so anywhere south of New Zealand, south of Tasmania, and in between Tasmania, Australia and Antarctica. But you'll also find these guys on the peninsula of Antarctica as well, so they are an Antarctic but a subantarctic penguin as well.
All these guys are so cute. Do they all have their own personalities, and do you have a favourite?
They all do have their own personalities, actually. Some of them are really bold and brazen, some of them are quite timid, and some of them are cheeky and playful.
Hey everyone, listen to my joke. What do penguins like to eat for lunch?
Uh-oh.
Iceburgers!
No, not funny.
Oh, my humour is wasted on you. See ya!
What a goose.
Not even, I'm a penguin.
And you can tell them apart. They've all got their little coloured bands on their wings, so that's how we sort of pick them apart. But I'm not meant to have favourites, but there are one or two here that are quite, have sort of taken a bit of a liking to. They are a little bit playful, a bit more cheeky than the other penguins, sort of the oddballs of the group. And one of those is Pepper, and he's our newest penguin here at Seaworld.
Hello.
There's Pepper. So he doesn't mind going off by himself. He loves to play with toys. He'll actually go and invent games with his own toys. We don't even have to play with him. He will actually start playing with himself. So he's a very cute little boy. And as you can see, he's very friendly as well. Pepper, you're such a good boy, aren't you? Very good penguin.
So I haven't seen any of these penguins tap dancing.
Well, you're probably not likely to, but they do other things. These particular penguins are actually the fastest penguins in the world. So they've been clocked at speeds of about 36 kilometres an hour, which is almost the speed a dolphin can swim in the wild. You will often see them chasing each other around the pool, and so they'll do little runs and they'll jump up and they'll hop around, and I do other things, but dancing's not in their repertoire just yet.
Here he comes, Usain Bolt, challenged by Tyson Gay. Usain Bolt, 2 clear meters. Tyson Gay in second place, and in third place the Suffolk.
9.58! Smashing the world record! Unbelievable!
So why do the penguins flap their wings?
Well, generally, like if this little guy in front of us, for example, it's more like a shaking. So it's actually increasing their metabolism so that they can digest their food quicker. So they look like they're cold, but they're actually not. They do that as a natural behaviour after they've fed. Okay.
How long can they hold their breath under the water?
Well, most of the penguins, and we've got 18 species in the world, can hold their breath for about 10 minutes. The emperors and the kings are a little bit longer than that, so these guys can dive to about 500 metres and hold their breath for about 15 minutes, so that's quite a long time underwater.
Does the size difference of the penguins affect of how long they can hold their breath underwater?
Usually the larger ones tend to be the ones that deeper dive, and they can hold their breath just a little bit longer than these guys. Most of the food for these guys is found in the first 100 metres of the water, so they don't need to dive as deep for their food. These little gentoos in front of me, they feed on things like krill and other small schooling fish, whereas the king penguins over there, they're diving for some bioluminescent fish called lanternfish, and that consists of most of their diet, as well as the occasional squid and things like that. You can actually help me feed if you like. So it's pretty easy to feed these guys. You just basically offer a fish like that, and when they've got it, They often feed themselves, as you can see, so they'll even eat big ones like this.
Does it just go in?
Yep, here you go. I'll give you this one. You can feed that. See how you go.
Oh, why are they?
Just a bit more. I'll give you one that they'll eat straight away. Here you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, push it in, let it go. This is Goose. That's her boyfriend Woody. You can give him one. These guys can eat fish about 30 or 40 centimetres long. Here you go. Grab that one. They'll feed themselves this one. That's cricket.
Cricket?
Cricket loves these ones, okay? So.
What are the threats in the wild for these guys?
Well, at the moment, there's several threats for penguins and actually many animals in the ocean. One of the big topics at the moment you've probably heard about is climate change. Ocean temperatures are rising. That means that a lot of the sea ice isn't forming the way it used to, and that can affect the breeding cycles of things like the king penguins. At the moment, these two penguins are actually on a list of least concern, but if things continue the way they are, climate change can be one of those real things that start affecting their populations in years to come. But overfishing is another one. A lot of these guys, if the fisheries are hunting the same fish that they are, the penguins are eating, that can actually leave them not enough food to eat, and that can affect their breeding and things like that as well. But the other one I really like to talk about to people when they come on our penguin tours is pollution and rubbish entering the ocean. So people don't know this, but there's about 12 million tonnes of pollution entering the oceans every year, and most of that is plastics, and those are things like single-use plastics like straws and water bottles that people just use once and throw away. These guys actually, for a lot of marine life, like turtles and penguins, that stuff looks like food, and they'll actually consume that, and that's really not good for them. And the amount of ocean rubbish and pollution that's out there at the moment, these guys are making it easier and easier to find, and they can get quite sick, and even a lot of birds can die from that, those things. And microplastics, things get taken up in the food chain, in the food they eat, like krill and plankton, and those things can start affecting them over time as well.
Thank you so much for having me, Jeff, and teaching me all these fun facts about these penguins.
My pleasure, absolutely my pleasure. Hey, your little song to say goodbye. Hey, would you like to see one more behaviour before we go today?
Yes.
All right, check this out. So I need your help for this. I need you to clap 3 times with me, loudly, and all the penguins are going to run to the water. I know, they're very excited. And then they'll come back out. So you ready? On the count of 3, 2, 1.
Thanks, I love these penguins so much. Now I come to the end of the show. Thanks for looking at this episode. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to everyone. Shout out Ernell, shout out Miss Lyle, shout out Miss Gift, shout out to everyone at school. Yeah, oh, yeah. Take us to the moon, take us to the moon. Busted, boo, busted. Oh, bye. 再见. Your party's going wild tonight, sir. I forgot to ask.
Thank you so much for having me, Jeff, and showing me all these fun facts about and I messed it up.
Complicated toasties.
I was out of focus.
Out of focus, seriously?
Really?
Can you see me now?
No.
Seriously. Yeah.
What do you call cheese that's not yours? Cheesy what? What's cheese that's not yours? Nacho cheese. Ah, get it? It's just shoved it in his mouth.
Take 2. Now it's time to wrap. The party's going wild tonight, so let's go. Everyone's going wild tonight, so you guys so big because you're really big. Now don't sound victory, and they're gonna come for me. Oh.
Remember guys, it's so easy to be a part of Juuuust TV. Whether you want to be a host, help us out behind the scenes with filming, or decide what goes into each episode. Let us know you want to be involved by sending an email to hello@juuuustv.com.au or speak to one of the friendly volunteers throughout the hospital in the green shirts. Also head to our website and Facebook page for all the updates about what we're filming at the hospital.